Hello everybody, Psychic Soul Senses here. So I know everybody's heard Chille's video, right? But I have to say, guys, we know what he's going to do. The only reason he did a fundraiser to go to Colombia, or was to go to Colombia, the fundraiser's for legal fees, but as soon as I get to Colombia, I conveniently drop the cases, and put my stipulations down, and if you don't do what I want you to do, because I'm begging you to believe me, I'm begging you to believe me. I mean, that's what it sounded like. You gotta take your videos down. Guys, I'm not that kind of person. I don't do that stuff. I don't have a Ponzi scheme. I don't hurt children. Oh, sorry, wait a minute. Oops, I don't wish cancer on children. Chille does none of that stuff. And you better believe me. You better believe me. Take those videos down. You sound like you're begging. This is just my opinion. Just my opinion. But you sound like you're begging people to believe you. So, in this video, I want to read to you guys an article, so that everyone knows how Chille was accepted in Ironton. And he was accepted by people like me that have dealt with cops. And, my friends, who he now conveniently cannot help because, they like cops now. And they don't. They like people. Tim and Sarah care about people's hearts. And they seen heart in a cop, Mr. Goo, and mention it, which Sarah didn't, but Tim mentions it, and then Chille goes and does a whole video, which is now taken down, because that channel's not up no more. So, what I'm saying is, believe him. You have to believe him. You have to believe him. And anybody that goes against is wrong and they're liars. But if you are really true, Chille, if you are really true, then why are you worried about it? Because really, I've been accused of stuff that I haven't done. And I'm not a perfect person. I've made mistakes and I've done stuff in my life that's screwy, okay? I have. And I've paid for my crap. I've even paid for crap I haven't done. Just like other people. But here's the deal. When I was accused of stuff I didn't do, I didn't sit and beg the person to believe me. I didn't beg the audience to believe me. I didn't beg the town, my family, groups. I didn't have to beg anybody to believe me. Because I knew the truth would come out. And it always does. It always does. And I feel like, Chille, this would already have been done with had you done just that. Had you ignored it. But you didn't. And must I remind everybody, the video where Josh Abrams says Chille's dipping out, he's going to Colombia. Which he might not be dipping out, but Josh did say he was going to do a big fundraiser before he went to Colombia so he'd have money to go. And we really believe his van was repoed or stolen. So, check out this article. It was done in March of 2021. So it is an old article. However, it highlights, how he was perceived. And the statements he makes. I mean, and he didn't uncover anything in Ironton. All he did was give all of us Well, we thought he gave all of us a voice. And he didn't. He exploited us. Or tried. So, check this out. Okay, so, anti-police blogger raising Cain in Ironton. DeCastro claims corruption among area authorities. I want to read to you guys what Chille did for Ironton, Lawrence County. He says he did a lot for us. He uncovered so much corruption that this is what the paper covered. Blogger being one of the many names that we know Chille uses. You know, he's a professor. He's a scholar. Oh, a constitutional scholar. He's press. He says that. What else does he say he is? Oh, an auditor. So among these many things, they labeled him a blogger raising Cain. So Ironton controversy, concerns, and outrage have been mounting in the tri-state area since the appearance of social media blogger with an objective of exposing crooked police officers. Chille DeCastro, a.k.a. Jose DeCastro, is that media blogger. Since DeCastro's home was raided in 2002 by the police, he said it changed who he fundamentally was. DeCastro, who was raised in Alaska and resided in Los Angeles since 2020, said he appointed Robert Shapiro, which DeCastro said resulted in beating the charges. Police are criminals because they use the law to break the law. Now, I believe that. I have to say I truly believe that because I have witnessed this stuff happening. So, I totally believe that. They used the law to break the law against me, and other people that I know. And this town is crooked. I'm not saying anything to lessen the fact that Ironton has a lot of corruption. What I am saying is, well, you'll see as we get further down. So, police are criminals because they use the law to break the law, DeCastro continued. It's been going on since the beginning of policing altogether. I hate cops. They are punks, thugs, and criminals, every single one of them. Now, we know that's not true. We know there is a person that puts on the uniform. Now, we also know that sometimes the person that puts on the uniform lacks heart. But we also know there are those of the few that do have heart. And I know of a few. But this goes against one of his lies, too. He says, I don't hate cops. But here he clearly says to this reporter, I hate all cops. They're all punks, thugs, criminals, scum. Every single one of them. We have to expose so much corruption in the Ironton Sheriff's and Police Department. Since starting his YouTube channel in 2021, he has garnered more than 30,000 subscribers in which he provides discourse, body cam footage, and perspective on American policing. DeCastro appeared in Ironton after he received a message from an Ironton resident in which she reported abuse involving officers from the Ironton Police Department. Since then, he has uploaded numerous videos that showed DeCastro confronting the police officers, sharing stories of incidents happening inside the Lawrence County Jail, and interviews of those who are accusing the Ironton Police Department of foul play. Since uploading a video to YouTube on March 21st of his first appearance in Ironton, it slowly snowballed, and his presence has become known. As the days passed by, the views to his videos began to gain traction within the tri-state area. DeCastro's phone has received multiple emails and messages from numerous people in the tri-state claiming they have been done wrong by police, he said, and he has no plans of leaving anytime soon. Chille. I'm never leaving Ironton. Also chille. I'm going to make Lawrence County and Ironton my home. Also chille. I'm not quitting in Ironton until it's uncovered. Also chille. Crickets. According to the Ironton Tribune, DeCastro was arrested after refusing to leave the Ironton City Center on Tuesday. Now, local people that live here like me know that now back in the day they used to rent that little area out in the city building where he was performing his civil rights thing where he was teaching people stuff, the stuff he's memorized. But it does close. Those doors do get locked after business hours, and only people that do rent that area after hours are able to get in and out in the police department. So we know, and people were on there telling him that he was going to get in trouble, but he was testing it and pushing it. And I seen the video, and I didn't totally agree with his arrest. I didn't feel like that Pam had given him time to even get his stuff and go. And I do agree, there is a lot of corruption in this town, and the people that live here, we already knew the corruption. He didn't uncover anything. He was told what we already knew. That's all he did, was repeat. Now, in the video uploaded to the YouTube on Thursday, March 24th, titled Dog Napping for Profit. Now, I don't believe I've never heard anything about the shelter. I do have my doubts about things that happen at the shelter, but I've never heard anything like what he had said and was accusing them of. Okay? So, DeCastro accused a Pitiful Paws Rescue of donating money to the sheriff's office department and for starving the animals, in which Michelle said was one-sided and blanketed lies. It was one-sided because he never got a retractment story. And see, you can't be a bull in a china shop. You go into the china shop and you want to prove that all the porcelain is cracking, but you're the one that's breaking it. The rescue shelter has felt first-hand effects since the submission of the video. Our staff is terrified. We are concerned for the safety of our animals and our safety, she said. We are continuing to get calls, voicemails, and emails daily with threats. We had people calling saying that they are going to burn the shelter to the ground. He jumps around and throws numerous stories out at once, and we have yet to see any proof, she said. He does do that. He does do that. He will shout and tout several stories out at one time, and he does bounce around and jump around. So we know that. The YouTubers published videos prompted a local business in Ironton to close for the day, citing safety concerns. According to WOWK, on Friday morning of March 25th, Ironton school leaders said they were hyper-aware of his presence in the community. Since DeCastro's arrival to Lawrence County, some said he has brought hope to the corrupt town. Others said, he has been telling lies and stirring the pot. Don't trust me, watch the videos, he said. It's not one or two people, it's hundreds of people. Now, I do have to say, when several people are telling you the same thing, you know there's a story there. You know there's some sense of truth, because why would hundreds of people be telling you about corruption? We know there's corruption. We get it. But he totally went about things the wrong way. For one thing, Chille, you're egotistical, I don't know. You're ego-driven. That's the best way to say it. You're ego-driven. If someone doesn't like, or if you don't like what someone says, all of a sudden you're stuck on that instead of what you claim to be committed to. If you were so committed to Ironton, like you said you were, and like you claimed that you were, you would not have gotten yourself arrested. You would have actually listened to the citizens that lived here in telling you that, hey, this is God's country. There's more Christians in this area than you'll ever find anywhere in the world, I swear. This tri-state area is Christian-driven. And when you sit there and spout some of the stuff that you spout out, and you come all wild and bouncy from California, and we're up here in hollers, and we're calm, and we're not used to this, unless we deal with cops, you're not going to get very far. And that's why Ironton was a failure for you. You claim it as one of your successes, but it was not a success for you. I mean, clearly. So anyways, the law and my camera are my weapons. I will not break the law, assault anybody, or fight anybody, he said. He said he's here because it's time to cause a public controversy, not just in Ironton, but across the country. I am for law and order. Cops are terrible, he said. Cops are terrible. Our cops are terrible. There's a few I have met in Lawrence County that are good, and I'm going to go ahead and put a plug in for Miss Beth Rist. She's one of the few that was good. She was good. I always felt like she was compassionate. And since I have been working with her, I have heard many stories. Women have come forward and told me their story, and they're in the same place she was at, like uncovering corruption and being threatened, which, by the way, I am going to show you guys later on in another video some of the corruption and stuff that's come across our papers. It gets slid under the rug. It gets, charges get dropped on these people. They get transferred out. Things like this happen to these people. Things don't get investigated like they should, especially if you're the 1 or 2% of this town that runs the place. And that would be our business owners, our lawyers, our prosecutors, our judges, our police department, you know. So, DeCastro believed he is setting a good example for the young people following and watching what he does. No, he's not. He said he wants them to follow in his footsteps. I mean, it did make him look like a loser. Mimic me, learn the laws inside and out, he said. The moment you interact with badge thugs, grab your camera and say you have been exposed. Now, I do believe we do need to start recording. And I do believe that we need to learn our laws. And that's why I've started my channel, is because there's things out there, the bigger picture of what's really going on in this world. And we are blind to that. And we need to open our eyes. This is our reality. This is what we're leaving for our children and our grandchildren. And we need to make it the best that it can be, not the worst. Okay, so let's see. There was that. And,